Hello and welcome to another episode of 60 Second Retro Gamer. I am Simon Pryor, joining me as always, and I'm getting very bored of saying it now, Rich Hatton and Ant Tremaine.
Yeah.
Oh, you're eating another sandwich, right?
He's nomming on a 3-layer sandwich, it's fine.
Okay. Today we're talking about Golden Axe, the retro classic on the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis if you're from North America. We're not, so we'll call it the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea, really, because I've no idea really what to say about it, and you're the one eating a sandwich, and you're the one reviewing it.
Oh, sorry.
So here we go. It was released in Japan in October 1988, North America in August 89, and finally in the EU in November 1990. So that was a long time.
Yeah.
And it's also been released on the Virtual Console since then, and on Xbox Live Arcade as well, I think. Yeah, it's a side-scrolling arcade hack and slash.
It's sort of like
It's a fantasy Streets of Rage.
yeah, in a
pretty
word.
much. Now the story is in the fictional land of Uria, and an evil entity known as Death Adder. That's a bit Darth Vader-esque, isn't it? Death Adder has captured the king and his daughter and holds them captive in their castle. He also finds the Golden Axe, the magical emblem of Uria, and threatens to destroy both the axe and the royal family unless the people of Uria accept him as their ruler. 3 warriors set out on a quest to rescue Uria and avenge their losses at the hands of Death Adder. The first is a battle axe wielding dwarf, Gilius Thunderhead, from the mines of Wolud. Or Wolud, yeah, Wolud. I'm not changing it, Wolud. Whose twin brother was killed by the soldiers of Death Adder. Another is a male barbarian axe battler, wielding a 2-handed broadsword, looking for revenge for the murder of his mother.
These points aren't entirely made clear during the course of the game.
No.
by the way.
Choose your character, play, pretty much. The last is a longsword wielding Tyrus Flare, an Amazon, whose parent, not as in the online shop, as in the Amazon women, whose parents were both killed by Death Adder, so they're all on a quest for revenge.
What was her name?
Tyrus Flare.
Oh.
The least silly of the, the
Yeah.
3 names. But yeah, I'm not too sure about Axe Battler, because I mean, for one, that's a strange name,
That's a shit name.
and he's a very much a mummy's boy then if he's like trying to avenge the death of his mum. The warriors save the inhabitants of the ransacked Turtle Village, which turns out to be situated on the shell of a giant turtle.
Of course.
The turtle takes the characters across the sea, and they then fly to the castle itself on the back of a giant eagle. Does this sound like a bad LSD trip to anyone else? And then they fly away on a giant eagle.
It sounds like a really shit relaxation CD. Just imagine some ambient noise in the background. You're riding on the back of a giant turtle across an endless ocean.
And they fight Death Adder and Deathbringer.
What?
Who?
Deathbringer.
I thought that's what you said.
He's the true final boss.
Oh.
So there's a 24 essentially.
Yeah.
Main villain. Oh, I don't think so.
An actual villain.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's essentially Streets of Rage, but with a fantasy element instead. In a fantasy world instead of the Streets of Rage. And there's a number of like fantasy-style villains that you've got to fight, including skeletons and tall men, Minotaur type chaps. And
People with armour, big swords,
breastplates,
bastards in a word.
yeah, and fantasy creatures that look a bit like Triceratops and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get to ride animals,
Yeah.
which are not very good.
No, I can certainly see the arcade origins of this. It's one of those games where you're sort of like going to be constantly putting 20 pence into the machine, as it then was, so it's probably £1 now.
Yeah,
constantly putting coins in to keep going and not really getting that far into it, and then obviously they ported it to the home consoles. And yeah, I've never been a big fan of Golden Axe, to be honest. I've always preferred Streets of Rage just for the
fist combat.
fisticuffs.
Yeah, It's okay. I mean, I think it came before Streets of Rage.
Yeah. I mean, are there combos in it? Streets
well,
of
you
Rage
can
styles.
you want to use slash, and you sort of doff them on the top of the head and then sort of kick them a little bit.
Ah, yes. Which you can also do to the little elves that steal your stuff in the night.
Yes, you have to poke them in their sack.
Yeah.
To,
Poke them in the sack and they
For
release
For want of a
release
better term.
a vial of fluid.
yeah, or a log.
Or a log.
It's turkey
Oh.
or some other undescribed meat. Miscellaneous
Oh.
Just call
meat.
it meat.
Yeah, some
For anyone who
miscellaneous
hasn't-
meat
Yeah.
No idea what we're talking
with a bone
about.
in it.
Yeah.
So it has to be meat.
That sounded vile.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Truly diabolical.
Sure. Rude.
You can also cast spells.
Yeah,
Don't they
which,
vary in power as well?
yeah, you can build them up to have like 3 bars or 2 bars.
Yeah.
Or I think the most you can get is 5 with the
Yeah.
woman, because she's got the shittiest weapon. She has the best magic.
Yeah. So it's all to do with which character you choose and what you
Yeah.
favour most.
Hmm.
The thumping in the head of villains or magic spells.
The woman has the best magic spells because she has a humongous fuck off dragon which breathes fire on everyone.
Well, I can.
I kept using my magic up by accident as whoever I was.
Yeah,
wasn't
from that sense, from the Streets of Rage perspective, it makes more sense for the magic. The magic in this one makes more sense than having the police car turn up on the boat.
Yeah. Or firing the bazooka up
Yeah,
an undescribable amount of floors to
to hit the enemy.
to hit the enemy.
And not your own men, because
Yeah.
they're right in the crossfire as well. That didn't make much sense. But that was part of the charm of Streets of Rage, and
Yeah, I guess so.
there's a little bit of that lacking in this one. But let's see.
There isn't really a huge amount else. There is I think you can have a versus battle, but it's really who lands the first blow sort of wins,
Yeah,
because the fighting mechanic is a bit ropey.
yeah, just a little bit. It looks quite nice, I will say that, but at the same time, it's not the sort of side-scrolling beat 'em up that I'd be interested in.
No.
Just for the fact that a lot of the gameplay mechanics don't gel quite as well as they should.
It's okay for what it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as bad as Streets of Rage for collision detection and the angle on the screen where you
Yeah.
are. If you're off by half a pixel or whatever, or if they're slightly lower on the screen than you, in Streets of Rage you're not going to hit them. In this, I think you can, but I think the camera's a bit closer as well on this one, so it sort of lends itself to that a bit more. Some of the noises coming out of the characters as well are genius, especially like the death sounds. But it's mostly influenced by Conan the Barbarian, and I was never a big fan of Conan in the first place, to be quite honest. So that's probably why I didn't play it so much. But I mean, I always had it on Mega Games too.
Yeah.
The Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and Revenge of Shinobi. So
All very similar games.
yeah, which is why they're all bundled together, obviously. But yeah, I'm not overly keen on it. The music doesn't really do much for
The
me.
music, the intro music isn't. Yeah. Dum, 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 dum.
It's not innovative. I will say that much.
No,
It's not as interesting as, again, Streets of Rage. I have to keep comparing it to Streets of Rage because I think that is like the pinnacle.
I
of
think
the,
that's
of
a
the
fair
beat 'em up.
benchmark.
Yeah, it just falls. It sounds alright, so it fits in with the rest of the game, but it doesn't quite gel. in my
No,
opinion.
it's merely a
Sufficient.
game. It's merely a game to just dip into every now and again.
Yeah.
But
Controls are pretty much bog standard.
they
You've
are
got,
Streets of Rage.
You've got the
Except you can't jump.
your 3-button system. That's one thing I probably didn't like as well. The fact you can't jump.
Yeah,
Attack, magic, and
that's
That's
about it.
yeah. Graphics wise, again, typical Mega Drive graphics. It's nothing too impressive, but does the job. It looks nice enough. Certainly looks nice enough. Downloadable content, obviously not, but it has become downloadable content through its re-release on Virtual Console.
And it was rebooted as well on the 360 and PS3. And was utterly destroyed by
yeah.
reviews.
on a number of Virtual Consoles as well. I think it's also available on Steam. It's one of the Mega Drive
right.
games on Steam. You can pick that up for £2 now. So if you want an official copy of it, you can go ahead, get it for your PC. and you're well away. Or you can be completely illegal and emulate it. Although I can legally emulate it because I have an original copy of the game.
Well, there you go.
Not that I do, but if I did,
If you felt the need to.
if I felt the need to, then I could. So, anything else you want to raise about the game, or anything that we may have missed from our very brief rundown?
I'm not very good at it.
Well,
I'm very shit at it because I just spunkle my magic in the first 5 minutes and
and then
kill
die.
the person who's supposed to be helping me and then die myself. So
Yeah.
essentially, I'm a bit of a
A liability.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not very good.
I can't really say a lot else about it, really.
Mm.
You go from left to right.
I've never finished it. I've played like 3 levels.
No, I've never completed it, which is probably why I was a bit surprised. There is a twist at the end for the final boss.
Yeah. Explains a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is that everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, if you haven't been bored to death by us talking about a game that we're not really that bothered about, you can send us an email and complain at info@randomstoke.com, or you can visit randomstoke.com for all of our other podcasts and videos and whatever else we may be doing at some point in the near future. Depends when you're listening to this, because we could be listening to this 2 years down the line and we'll have done a lot more. So there may be more available. But hey-ho.
Who
So,
knows?
yes. So, thank you for listening if you have been, and we'll see you next time for yet another, hopefully exciting episode. Goodbye for now.